So Wednesday is actually gonna start with squats again, just like Monday and Friday. Again, squats are gonna be covered on all 3 days because it's one of the best lifts you can do for the body. Then you're gonna move on to, on Wednesday, from squats, you're gonna move on to overhead press, which is what we're gonna be covering now. So overhead press, and then after that, we're gonna do some bent over rows. But for now, let's do some overhead press. And again, we don't have any kind of squat rack, so I'm just gonna be handing you the bar to help you out. Okay. And we're gonna kind of go over some form now. We went over this on the last video we did together with the upper body, strength gaining program. So let's go ahead and just see, what you have on this one. Yep, perfect, shoulder width, excellent. And then you're gonna keep those knees locked out, keep that core tight, and you can push up, kind of move your head out of the way from the bar, and then push all the way through as you lock out, just like that. And come all the way down, nice and slow. Keep the elbows tight. There we go, so that way you get a straight push. Let's get a little closer in grip. Just about there, perfect, there we go. So that way it's vertical right to the floor. All right, up. And what you wanna do, so try not to look up to the bar. Okay. So just look straight forward. And then push your head through, squeeze the traps right in there. Good, and slow on the way down. Perfect, good. Core tight, push through, squeeze, and then slow on the way down. Good, let's get a couple more on this. Up, squeeze, slow on the way down. That's it, one more. Squeeze, and then slow on the way down. Good, okay, so let's go ahead and drop that. I got it. All right, so as far as the weight goes, how'd that feel?
Pretty good, yep.
Yeah, so.
I'll add a little more.
Yeah, we'll add a little bit more, and this one is gonna be pretty tricky because it's raising your center of gravity so much, you can get a lot of imbalance in there. So again, it's gonna be a lot of core work. On a program like this, you're not really gonna be doing any specific core exercises, mainly because all these big compound movements are gonna be working the core, mainly to strengthen the core, and you're actually gonna get a pretty good look in the core as well. But what we wanna talk about next is, as you progress through the program, let's say you're thinking, my arms aren't really progressing as fast as I want, or I want a little bit better six pack, you can always kind of add those in at the end of the workout. So let's say after you complete these after you complete these 3 exercises, 5 sets, 5 reps, then you can move on to maybe some specific isolation ab exercises just to get a better look, or some curls, extensions, whatnot, just to build some size and extra strength in those specific areas. But for now, you're just keeping it simple, kind of keeping it on these core, nice compound movements, and then moving on from there. So let's go ahead and add some weight to this, get those 5 reps in, and see how you feel. So we're gonna get that same form, you can get those 5 reps, nice and strong, keep that core tight. Let's bring those hands in just a little bit more. There we go, because you always want those forearms right vertical to the floor so you get that nice straight angle push. Okay, so whenever you're ready. Up, push, good, squeeze, slow on the way down. Excellent. There we go, you got it, good, 2. There we go, up, that's it. There's 3. You got it, there we go, 4. One more. Watch those legs. 5, that's it, nice and slow. Bring it down, good, done. Perfect. All right, as you can tell, that weight's about right. Yeah. Those 5 reps, feeling about hitting fatigue right at the end, that's perfect. So we're gonna stay here, you can complete 4 more sets. Get that nice 90-second break, or even up to 3 minutes, depending again on how you feel. Because again, after you're doing, you just completed squats, moving on to overhead press, you might start wearing out a little bit, so your rest times might even increase a little bit, which is totally fine. So yeah, we'll get a little break, and then we'll move on to the next set. All right, here you go, I'm gonna hand this to you again, yep. Get those forearms nice and vertical, that floor, perfect. Get those knees locked out, lock those knees out. There we go, yep. Core tight, push straight through the shoulders, up, and then squeeze, good, there's 1. Awesome. There's 4 more to go, here we go. Nice and strong, good, there's 2. That's it. Straight up, there we go, push the head through, squeeze the traps, bring it down. All right, here we go. You got it, that's it. Nice, and here we go, push straight through, up. Good, awesome. All right, as you can tell, I was spotting you through maybe just the last one, which let's say you didn't have a spotting partner, if someone not there to help you out, doing 4 repetitions again is totally fine, because that's what it's all about, finding that weight where you're actually having to try to progress. So the next time you do this, with this weight, you're trying to hit the 5 reps when you only were able to complete the 4 maybe the week before, so on and so forth. So it's always, again, that progression. So good job. We're gonna move on to the next exercise, which is gonna be bent over rows. So this one obviously is gonna be a big back movement. You almost kind of think of it as like, again, either the squat or the deadlift. It's gonna be in the hips. So it always starts in the hips by just a slight bend in those knees, and you wanna keep them stationary as they're slightly bent.
Okay.
And you're gonna be pushing the hips back just like that while keeping that lower back straight. So you're gonna be pushing back just like that. So you're gonna be in a position just like that. Yep, a little less bend in the knees and more bend in the waist. Just like that, right there. You don't quite have to get parallel to the floor like this. You can have a slight angle, which is totally fine. And you're gonna be grabbing that bar, and you're gonna be having it right about here, and you're gonna be gliding it up right to the lower stomach, just like that, getting that nice squeeze, keeping those elbows pretty tight. They can flare slightly. Let's make it a little easier, and we're gonna put the bar on the bench, so that way you don't have to bend down so low. So we're gonna move over here, just like that. So when you step forward, you're just gonna grab it here, you're gonna walk back, you're gonna keep your feet about shoulder width, and you're gonna, again, when you start, you're gonna push the hips back, and see how I'm not even necessarily bending my knees very much, but pushing my hips back is already lowering the bar. And then you're gonna slightly bend the knees to keep it a little bit lower. You keep it about there, and you pull it straight up, squeeze, right back down. Just like that, and keep that nice fluid motion. And get that nice squeeze at the top position, pulling those shoulders back together. All right. Do good. Straighten the body out, walk back a little bit. All right, so again, start with the hips, push the hips back, slightly bending the knees, just like that, lowering the bar, right there. Now pull that bar right up to the lower stomach, squeeze, right back down, good. There's two, that's it, good, looking good. Squeezing those shoulders back, that's it, perfect. Yep. Again, remembering all what you're doing, get that confidence in that form, and try not to curl up into the forearms, just keep those wrists stabilized and straight. Try not to pull it up higher. If it doesn't allow, you don't want to just curl it up just to get the extra couple inches of range of motion. There we go, yep. Bring it down all the way, and then pull it up, good. Straighten the arms and then bend, good. Perfect, go ahead and just put it on the bench. Awesome, all right, now we're gonna go up in weight, and we're gonna complete those 5 reps and start with the 5 sets. There you go, got it. Have you ever heard of the maneuver, like the Valsalva maneuver?
Nope.
Where you actually hold your breath through the difficult portion of a lift, and that pretty much putting pressure on a closed airway contracts your core a little bit more and contracts those muscles to help support the spine.
Okay.
The body naturally wants to do that anyway, so that's when you notice, like when you're going through something difficult, you like hold your breath. And it's a good thing and a bad thing. You don't want to hold it too long. Obviously, you get lightheaded and you might pass out. And you can see guys on YouTube, like the guy deadlifting, he holds his breath and he passes out. So you'd never want to take it that length. But like something like this, you want to get some nice oxygen in, and as you pull up, especially in the motion where that lower back is working, you can hold that breath slightly, and then as you're then lowering the bar or the eccentric contraction, then you relax, just like that. Okay. But again, you never want to relax the muscles. You just want to make sure you get that breathing in through that difficult portion of the portion where you might feel a little bit in the lower back. You hold the breath and kind of push against that closed airway, and the stomach might distend a little bit, but that's good because it's actually contracting everything a little bit more. And then again, it helps you through that difficult portion by supporting all your joints and your spine and whatnot. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. This is the first set of the 5 sets. We're gonna get those 5 reps in. Keep everything nice and tight. So we'll straighten the body out. Okay. So we'll get in that position, just like we did before. Yep, keeping that core tight right there, and then pulling it straight up, squeeze, right back down. Good, 1. Squeeze, 2. 3, good. 2 more, nice and slow. Keep everything tight, squeeze. All right, 1 more, keep everything tight. Good, we're gonna keep it right there. Yep, and go ahead and pull it right down. Awesome, so you made that look pretty easy. And again, dealing with any kind of injury or dealing with something that you might not have a complete confidence in, like, ooh, my lower back is a little tricky sometimes, I don't really want to injure it anymore, I don't want to pull it out. Just keep it light, because you don't, you never want to be like, oh, that was easy, I want to throw another like 20 pounds on, and then all of a sudden that throws your back out. So again, just play it safe. Just really progress in weight very, slowly. Even if it does feel light, again, just kind of really feel it out. It's never worth getting injured just because, again, your ego's taken into play. And I know you don't have a big ego, which is great. And that was just so great of a person, because you can just go, okay, I'm gonna stay light, I want the proper form. And eventually, as the years go by, that's when I have the strength and size And I was able to accomplish that because I never got injured and it never put me out for months on end, and that takes away with all your gains, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so we got 4 more sets of this, and then we're gonna move on. The good thing is that this actually ends the workout on this one. So this is gonna be on a Wednesday. So we got squats, overhead press, we're gonna finish this out, and then on Friday, the 3rd day, you're actually just gonna be repeating Monday. Okay. So it's a really simple program, and that's gonna end it there. And then you're good to go, and then you got that solid program. You're going into college, and then you're gonna gain all that weight and mass. Next time I see you, you're gonna be bigger than me. So I'm actually gonna be a little scared probably the next couple of years to see you again.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, that completes the 5x5 program. Ian, how do you feel?
I feel good.
Nice.
Yep, definitely got some good information today on my form and learned kind of what my limits were as far as weight went. So.
Nice. Yeah, and that's the goal. You know, you really want to try to learn about yourself and what your body responds to. So that's a perfect thing. Got any questions?
So when do I start implementing those other movements into my workout?
Talking about like isolation or anything?
Yeah.
So now this really depends on obviously your goal. So let's say you're progressing through this program, you've been doing this for about a month. You know, you wanna, shirts aren't fitting quite as tight in the sleeves as you want to, so you wanna build those guns, right? So what you do is at the end of the workout like this, depending on what day it is, so let's say Monday and Friday, you wanna start building the arms a little bit more, you're actually just gonna tack on some isolation exercises like either barbell curls and skull crushers, about 3 sets of more of like about 10 to 12 rep range, so more of a hypertrophy thing. And then you're gonna complete that one as the phase goes on to kind of put a little bit more stress in an isolated area, build a little bit more size and strength in that specific area. Okay. So you can start implementing that about 2 times a week if you wanna gain that, or if you, let's say you wanna build a little bit more on shoulders, you can do the same thing with shoulders. So with the shoulders getting a complete rest time from Monday to Friday. So you add it on those days, so that way they get a nice long break, and then you can hit them twice a week perfectly and get that nice recover time and whatnot.
Perfect.
And then you're good to go as far as that goes.
Awesome.
Anything more?
So when I'm working out and I'm gaining weight, say I hit like a plateau. So what do I do as far as my nutrition goes to really push past that and gain some more weight?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm glad you said that because, so let's say the first month, 2 months, you start gaining about 10 pounds or even more of weight, you know, especially in the beginning phases, the body's gonna naturally wanna gain weight pretty quickly, especially if you're on a good nutrition plan. What you wanna do is if you hit a plateau on that thing, what's happening usually is that the body gains that weight because of the amount of calories you have, but then now that you've added that weight on, the amount of calories you had to gain that weight is mainly just your maintenance phase now. So you always, just like the weights, you know, you're gonna be progressing higher in weights every week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however it goes. The same thing is gonna be with food. You always want to increase the amount of calories because as you gain weight, it's gonna take more calories to gain weight. Because now the calories that made you gain weight in the beginning is your maintenance calories, and then so on and so forth. So as you continue to progress, again, the calorie content's gonna go up, the protein content's gonna go up, because in the beginning phases, you know, your lean body mass isn't quite as much as maybe someone that's 220, obviously. So what you wanna do is your protein intake is gonna go up to help supply the amount of amino acids that needed for either recovery, repair, strength, energy, whatnot. Same with carbohydrates and fats. As far as the macronutrient split, percentages on fats, proteins, and carbohydrates, it's gonna kinda all depend on your body type. Okay. Just looking at you, obviously you're more of like a ecto-meso. It's easy for you to lose weight, to stay lean, so it's kinda hard gainer. So carbohydrates are gonna be a little bit higher than proteins. Proteins are still gonna be high, and fats are gonna be about mid-range to low range. And then you're just gonna go off that. And again, it's kind of just a feel out to kind of just see what your body responds to best, and then pretty much take it from there.
Perfect. All right, that's all the questions I have.
Awesome. All right, dudes, we just completed the 5x5 Beginner's Mass Program. Ian's the man, the myth, and the future buff dude. So what we're gonna be doing is, next time you see us, we're gonna be going over Ian's progression, and we'll see how he's doing in college. So, all right, dudes, take it easy.